Discovering possibilities and potential with passion every day. This is a TPPN production. Welcome to the iPad Possibilities Podcast, episode number 61, Weekly Thought, Frash. Well, welcome to the iPad Possibilities Podcast. This is Tim here, and this is the Weekly Thought episode of the week. The short little thought I have every week, something new I try out, something new I test out for the iPad, and just share my thoughts with it. And for this week, I've tested out, I've played with Frash, that is the Flash plugin for the iPad, and I've got some thoughts on it. So that's what today's show is all about. So what is Frash? Well, Frash is a Flash plugin for jailbroken iPads. It's still in its beta phase, it's very early stage, but it has been released to the public. And I've installed it, and to install it, you basically just download a file and then copy that onto your iPad into a series of subdirectories, which you can find either App Advice or Engadget have a link to how to do this. So just basically Google Frash and App Advice or Engadget, and you'll find out how to actually do this. But once you install it, you just reboot your iPad a couple times, and it's up and running. So what does this enable you to do now that you have Frash installed on your iPad? First off, this only works on the iPads, not the iPhones currently. And what this enables is basically click to Flash on the iPad. Whenever a Flash area appears on the web pages or whatever, there'll be a little Flash logo that you just click, and that enables Flash on that certain area of the web page. So it's very much like a click to Flash, where it won't load up all the Flash unless you tell it to, which is a nice thing, I believe. And it kind of showcases how much Flash is being used on your website to, just optimize your compatibility with all iPads. So it's a nice thing for iPads to actually test out, hey, where am I going wrong with using Flash on my page here? So the best use of this plugin is for navigation of Flash-based sites. So Blue Mic, for instance, uses Flash, oddly enough, to have for their navigation of their website. Without Flash installed, you cannot navigate Blue Mic's site, which is a fault, I believe. Many restaurants have this. Many, bands and other websites use Flash to build their navigation, which I think is just crazy, because if you build your web page with Flash as its navigation, you're limiting so many devices that don't have Flash installed, and I think that's just a big fault. So I'm not going to go on that tangent. I guess I already did, but this is the best use of it, to enable Flash-enabled sites for navigation. Now, it works okay. I'm saying okay very, very loosely. It can work for Flash-based games, and they're adding support for keyboard input and things like that in Flash-based games soon. It's not there yet. They're also working on improving it in general. Right now, video playback is not working at all. So no Ustream, no Hulu via the web with this plugin, and no Flash video at all. And the biggest thing that really bothers me is any YouTube video on Safari no longer works, because it will default to Flash now. It won't give you the pretty HTML5 version that YouTube that it delivers so well, but instead it delivers Flash video. So that is a big mistake, I think, in this plugin's area, that it just assumes that all Flash will be working on this. So it defaults everything to HTML5 in my testing. So that's been a big fault that you need to keep in mind when installing this. Do I want to be limited from YouTube content on web pages within Safari? You can always, of course, go in the YouTube app, but on web pages in Safari or even Atomic Web, it's a cross-platform thing. So that's a cool thing. It goes cross-browser. So once you install this, it works on Atomic Web. It works on all the other web browsers you have. And this is important because on Atomic Web, you're able to say, I'm on a desktop web browser. And some pages will tell you, hey, you can't access this because you're on an iPad, and iPads don't have Flash. So you might have to use Atomic Web to say, hey, I'm on a desktop web browser so I can access the full site. So in my testing, it's been very stable. It hasn't, made my iPad do forced reboots or crazy stuff like that. But it's just quite limited. Right now, it's just if you are a person that needs to access Flash-based websites, that is what this is for. It's not really for Flash-based games, really yet. It can be used for that, and it's not at all for Flash-based video. So that hopefully will be updated soon, and I'll keep you updated as this comes out. I'm not a big Flash fan, but I think it's important to let people know, hey, you can do this with your iPad if you want to. And later in the future, I'll do an hour on jailbreaking the apps, the why to jailbreak, the how to jailbreak, the what to do when things go wrong in jailbreaking. So I'll do a show on that in the future, but I just wanted to give you an update. This is Frash. It's out. Just search Frash, iPad, Engadget, or App Advice, and you will find it. It's out there, and it works well. It won't corrupt your iPad if you install it correctly. It works really well. So those are my quick thoughts on Frash. I'll of course be discussing this more on the Sunday show, and I'm not going to be discussing it personally, but I'll have John's thoughts on this, as I'm not sure if he's had a chance to play with it or not. So join us this Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live show. Just go to tppn.tv, go to the iPad page, and then scroll down for the live show, and we'll be there live Sunday night at 9:30. And please join us in the chat room, and I do interact and answer questions as they come up. So with that said, if you want to send your feedback, you can do that at iPadPossibilities@gmail.com and 209-542-iPad. And many people may realize they need to resubscribe to the podcast. I think they need to resubscribe. I'm not sure. I recently did a feed switch, but I thought it went seamlessly. So if you're not getting the current episodes, just make sure you resubscribe. So quick tip there for those listening on the app and want to make sure they get the iTunes updated. But with that said, if you want to support this show, you can do that by going to tppn.tv and becoming a premium member of the podcast. So just go there, premium member of the podcast. All the information is at tppn.tv. And you can also purchase the iPad Possibilities podcast app for $2.99 in the App Store. So search iPad Possibilities in the App Store and pick it up today. You get the shows one day early. So with that said, this has been the iPad Possibilities podcast on tppn.tv. And this is Tim, and I will speak to everyone again Sunday night for the live show. Have a great weekend.